What what's up, good people? What's up, good people? It's your boy, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. I'm way late today. Y'all know I usually do this in the morning, but since I had to do my foundation deliveries this morning, I wasn't able to do it, and I had a full day today, so got in this evening, and I wanted to make sure that I got this in because it's important that I talk about this. What we've been talking about all this week. Can y'all see that? Y'all know we've been talking about the miseducation of manhood. Just be a man about it. Um, just be a man about it. Manhood mastery. We've been talking about that all week. We've been talking about, and it came from a question that I was asked from one of the radio hosts that I was on her show, Dr. Tanya. She asked me what was my definition of a man. And so I told her I knew I had this, and what my definition is someone who is a male that is mature, that is accountable, that is nurturing and natural. Nurturing and natural. That's what a man is to me. That's when you look at who we are at our core. We should be mature. We should be accountable. We should be nurturing and natural. And when I say natural, I mean we should be comfortable with who we are. And then also the power of a man, who we are at our core, in our faith, in our family, in our finances, in our future. That's what I talk about when I talk about man, what the definition of a man is. And I had to come today because we're putting this bow on this because I've been dealing with this all week. Because as you know, the other night, Wednesday night, we had um, we had the event coming here to the organization that's coming here to Baltimore, that are going to be the chapter director, and that is the Remand Project. The Remand Project Incorporated, but it's an organization that's geared towards equipping adult males in life, leadership, and in legacy, building their legacy. And what I've been talking about all week, we had this event Wednesday, but what we've been talking about all this week is about being mature, being accountable, being nurturing, and being natural, but then also manhood mastery. And then today I want to kind of tap it off with understanding, giving you the understanding of your voice and your value as a man. Don't let anybody don't let anyone devalue your voice, and don't let anyone devalue your value. Your voice matters as men. And a lot of times when you talk to brothers out here today, a lot of them feel that their voice is not being heard and their voice does not matter. And I'm here today to tell you, brothers, that your voice matters. You matter. Your value that you bring to the community, to the society, it matters. Don't let anyone devalue you. Not even yourself. Check yourself if you need to. But your value and your voice. That's part of that manhood mastery, y'all. We've got to understand that. We've got to understand. We've got to raise the level of our self-esteem. Yeah, there are plenty of brothers, there are plenty of us that have self-esteem, that value who we are. But we have an understanding that we can feel like our voice isn't being heard, especially when it comes to our family. When it comes to our in the business world, being an entrepreneur, whether you're an entrepreneur or whether you're a line level employee, you can sometimes feel, specifically as black men, that you don't have value and that your voice is not being heard. Trust and believe. If you haven't had that question to where you've questioned yourself about your value and about your voice, keep living as a black man. Keep living as a brother. I promise you, you're going to have that encounter. You'll have that encounter with yourself. But here's the thing about it. The way that you become secure in yourself is by growing into being mature, being accountable, and being natural and being nurturing. Because it's our responsibility as the older men to pour value into the younger men. Let them know that they are being heard. We hear you, we see you. I was watching TikTok yesterday, and man, TikTok has some really great videos on it. Got some other stuff on there that's just, it just boggles my mind. And ladies, I'm gonna deal with y'all next week, so get ready. That's what I'm gonna tell y'all. Get ready, because I'm dealing with y'all next week. It's just some stuff out here that is just absolutely absurd when it comes to that. But this week is about the fellas. It's about dealing with the fellas, because I want to make sure that we both, men and women, understand this manhood thing, this womanhood thing. But the sister that was on there, she does this quick video. She's in the kitchen, and I think she's fixing some food or whatever. And she comes over. She has the video on, and she says, "Black man." All she does is walk up to the camera. And she has a little glass of wine or whatever she's drinking, and she comes up and she says, "Black man, I love you." And you could feel the energy that she was giving through that video, and that she meant what she was saying. And it's something when we as men hear that from a woman, and more specifically our women. It's a non-verbal communication of saying what I just said a little while ago. We hear you, we see you, we value you. Ladies, hear me. That goes, you want to make a man stick out his chest, you want to make a man smile, just do that for no reason. If you're in a relationship, or even if it's your brother, even if it's your father, it could be a good friend of yours, a best friend of yours. Just tell him, I was thinking about you today, and I just want to let you know, I hear you, I see you, and I value you. You will blow you will blow that man's mind. I promise you. I promise you. It's nothing like being validated as a man for the things that you do, because a lot of times, and I know many fellas feel like that, a lot of times the things that we do, who we are, and everything like that gets taken for granted. But we keep going. We're seen sometimes as these pillars of stability, and like it's, a lot of people think that we don't hurt, that we don't feel, that we don't need validation. And I'm not saying that acknowledgement validates us, because we all know someone should not have to validate you, but it makes you feel good when you do know someone. They see you, they hear you, and they value you. Your value and your voice. That's what being a man is about. Understanding that at the core of who you are, when you are mature, when you are accountable, when you are natural, when you are nurturing, and you're walking in that manhood, when you're walking to master being a man, people will value you. People will hear you. People will hear you. People will see you. And then people will say, wow, this brother brings something, different. He's not like everybody else. That was the thing when I think about the men that have value and have voice. When I think of Dr. King, when I think of Brother Malcolm X, when I think of Fred Hampton, when I think of Medgar Evers, when I think of Marcus Garvey, when I think of Frederick Douglass, when I think of these, when I think of Robert Smith, when I think of Dr. Will Moreland, when I think of these great men, when I think of Dr. George Frazier, when I think of these great men, I think of their voice and their value. Not just because of who they are, but because of who they make us feel like as other men. And I know they all of them pour into women as well, but them pouring into us as men. Man, please understand that, fellas. Please understand that. Make sure that you have another brother in your life that is above you, or that is older than you, that has been where you're trying to get to. I'll say it like that. You want to surround yourself. You want to have, there's 3 people you should have in your life. Someone that's in front of you, who has been where it is that you've been, that you're trying to get to. And it doesn't necessarily have to be someone that's older than you, but it could be someone that's younger than you but has accomplished more than you, and they're where it is that you're trying to get to. Someone that's in front of you, who is where you're trying to get to. Someone that is beside you, someone who is moving on the same level that you are, trying to move forward. And then the last one is someone that's behind you. Grab a young man. Grab a young fella. Let him know. Teach him some of the mistakes that you made. Tell him, so that he can understand. And I know, we went the younger generation, and we went through it too. So fellas, don't try to act like we didn't. That we acted like we knew everything. We thought we knew everything. And as I listen to these males out here, whether it's on social media, or wherever, a lot of them, they don't have a clue. They don't have a clue of what they're talking about. So be careful who you listen to, fellas. Especially when it comes to this manhood thing. Don't allow the miseducation to continue. Don't allow someone to make you feel as if you've got to have a certain amount of money to be called a high value man. That's not what a high value man is. A high value man is someone that is mature. A high value man is someone that is accountable. A high value man is someone that is nurturing. A high value man is someone that is natural, comfortable with who he is. Your manhood is not defined by your wallet. Your manhood is not defined by how tall you are. That you got to be over 6 feet tall in order to be able to be with someone. And I'll keep saying that. This is the most absurd thing that I've ever heard. And ladies, I'm coming for y'all next week with that 6 foot thing. It makes no sense. You're trying to define a man by his height. Fellas, don't allow anyone to tell you that your height defines you as a man. Don't allow anyone to tell you that your wallet defines you as a man. I know some folks right now, some men right now, who I mean, just look at the TV. Look at all, they are millionaires and miserable. Got all the money that they could want or ever have, and completely miserable. And or some of the have all of that money and are some of the worst people ever. They have no maturity, they have no accountability, and they could be nowhere near nurturing or natural. That's what a high value man is. Y'all wanna stick to a definition, and I'm talking to those fellas out there that think that they know what a man is. Manhood is about maturity. Manhood is about accountability. Manhood is about nurturing. Manhood is about being natural, being comfortable with who you are as a man. Has nothing to do with your wallet. Has nothing nothing to do with the house that you sleeping in or the car you driving. None of it. Yes, are those things nice, and do you want to have them? Absolutely. You work hard. I promise you. I promise you, if you are mature, if you are accountable, if you're nurturing and natural, and you have a mastery of manhood, I promise you, all of those superficial material things, they'll come. They'll come. They'll be there. I promise you they will. Because I've yet to meet a man that is mature, accountable, natural, nurturing, has mastered manhood, understands his voice, understands his value, and is not winning in life. I promise you. I know plenty of men that are winning in life. And it has nothing to do with their money. And got money. Got money. And it has nothing to do with their money. Has nothing to do with their material things. We can't take one thing with us. And I remember somebody saying this years ago. They were saying, have you ever seen a U-Haul following behind a hearse? Have you ever seen a U-Haul following behind a hearse? No. Why? Because you can't take none of this with us. And I tell brothers all the time too, you wanna talk about being your manhood. A mature man has a life insurance policy. Not only on him, but his family. An accountable brother has a life insurance policy on him and his family. He's about building wealth that way. He leaves an inheritance. Isn't this what the Bible says? He leaves an inheritance for his children's children. That's your grandchildren. Have you set your grandchildren up? I told y'all before that the Rockefellers, that's how the Rockefellers built their empire. The great granddaddy way back took out an insurance policy on his family, not just his children, his children's children. And from that great grandfather, each generation did the exact same thing. We've got to have that mentality, y'all. We've got to have that mindset. That's manhood mastery right there. That's manhood mastery. That's understanding that I'm doing something that is not just going to be for me, but it's going to be for not just my kids. It's going to be something that lives beyond me. What are you doing that's going to live beyond you? That's what manhood is. That's what manhood mastery is. That's what being mature is. That's what being accountable is. That's what being a natural man is. That's what being nurturing is. I'm sick of hearing these males, and I said males, not men, that want to put themselves, that want to act like they know what they're talking about. All of these things about relationships and all of these things about what manhood is and everything like that, and don't know anything. Don't have a clue. Don't have a clue what manhood mastery is. Don't have a clue as to what a man is. They wouldn't know it even if they wanted to try and call themselves a man. Because if you look at their life, I promise you, all it's about is what the material things. Has nothing to do with their family. Has nothing to do with them leaving something that's beyond them. Like I said, what's going to live beyond them? When they're dead and gone, what is their family going to say about them? What are their children's children going to say about them? What are your great grandkids going to say about you? Just like the Rockefellers' great grandfather. What are you doing? How are you walking in your power as a man? Are you walking in your power? In your faith? In your family? Are you even present in your family? And when I say present in your family, I'm not just talking about money. I'm not just talking about, I spend time with my kids every other weekend if I'm not in the household. No, sir. Or even if you are in the household, but you ain't home. You ain't spending no kind of time with your kids, and you in the house. You in the house, and they don't even know who you are because they don't see you. Because you working all the time. Trying to have a big old house. I get it. But the point, the cost of you spending all of your time on your job getting the bag is your family don't even know you. Ask Tom Brady. Your family don't even know you. Your wife talking about all she wants. She values spending time with you more than you going out there and making millions of dollars. But yet you like, nah, I got to make this money. That's not mature. That's not accountable. That's not nurturing or natural. That's not manhood mastery. That's not walking in your power as a man in your family. Your finances. Are you taking care of your finances? Like I said, got all that money and don't have an insurance policy on you or your kids or your wife. None of them. We've got to get it together as black men, and I'm talking to the black men right now. We've got to get it together. I don't want to see another GoFundMe for any of us. We've got to be the ones to take care of us, and stop buying $200-$300 Jordans, but don't have insurance policy the first. Up on social media, going to all of these restaurants and going on all these trips, and no insurance policy. If something were to happen to you tomorrow, what happens? Is your family taken care of? I was talking to one of my brothers, and then I'm done, y'all. I'm done. Y'all done got me heated today, and I guess it was meant for me to do this evening. But talking to one of my brothers, that I just my one of my good brothers, friends, and we haven't even known each other a good 2 months, but this is my soul brother number one, and he happened to lose his mother this recently, very recently, over the past 2 weeks. And so we were having a conversation, and we were talking about, and I say this, and he said that his mother had everything in order. He didn't have to figure out what needed to be done. She had already planned it all out. She wanted this, and this. It was already done. All he had to do was execute it. And I tell fellas, you want to call yourself, so you call yourself a man? Do you have a folder that someone in your family, all they need to do is go to that folder? It has all of your insurance information. It has all of your bank account information. It has all of your business information. If you're an entrepreneur, that they can go to. All they need to go to is that folder, and they can do what's necessary. Don't talk to me about being a man. Don't talk to me about this manhood thing if you don't have that. If you don't have that in your house right now, it's something that needs to be done. I told y'all, we're about making you better by the end of the year than you are at the beginning of the year. That needs to be a priority for you. Ladies, I told you, I'm coming for y'all next week too. You should have a folder right now that has all of that information for the person or people that may have to take care of your final arrangements. You want to have all of that in order. Have that conversation. I know it's a hard conversation that many of us don't want to have. But it's a mature conversation that you need to have. It's an accountable conversation that you need to have. It's a nurturing conversation that you need to have. And it made me, the conversation that I had with my friend, we were talking, and he was saying how, things were just laid out, that his mother just laid them out. And that's how we as men have to be as well. Ladies, I'm talking to y'all about this next week too. But it should be, because we don't know the day nor the hour of something that may happen to us. So do you have those mechanisms in place in order to be able to take care of that? And even if you may not pass away, but even if something happens and you don't have the ability to be able to take care of yourself, what do you have in place? What are you building? I'm going to say black man. What are you building, black man? What are you creating? What are you producing? I hear all the time. I told you I was done. Last thing, and then I'm done. I hear folks when you hear this regurgitation about, well, what's a man's responsibility in a relationship, and it's on the only two things that they talk about is protecting and providing. That's all you ever hear them say. They never talked about the three. It's three of them. It's protect, provide, and produce. And when they talk about protecting and providing, they only talk about it from a strong perspective, a man's strength, his physical strength. Protection. If somebody breaks in the house, what you gonna do? But that's not the only form of protection, brothers, fellas, gentlemen. Protection is also, like I said, what if something happens? Do you have an insurance policy? Do you take care of your finances? And that has to do with providing as well. Providing is not just from a financial standpoint, going out here and working. Yes, do we need to have a skill set? Absolutely. You better have a skill set. You better have a skill set. But it's also providing is also providing a way for people to see how you conduct yourself. What's your character like? Do you have integrity? Those are the things that I think about when I think about protecting and providing. And the last one, like I said, producing. What are you producing? As a man, what are you producing? Everything that God created, He created with the ability to be able to produce, not just in a physical male-female standpoint. But if you think about fruit, vegetables, everything that grows from the earth, it has the ability to recreate itself. That's what God did. That's what He did with us. And we are to produce. We are to produce in every aspect of our lives. I'm going to say that again real quick for y'all, and I'm going to say it real slow. We are to produce in every aspect of our life. That's in our faith, in our family, in our finances, and in the future. So what are you producing? What are you producing in your faith? What are you producing in your family? What are you producing in your finances? And what are you producing in your future? That goes back to, like I said, what's that legacy? Are you being the leader that you've been called to be? So I hope, I am coming for the brothers this week. Told you all week. In a day, I wanted to finish strong, as I always do on Fridays. It's about finishing strong, but it's about laying into the miseducation of manhood. And I would be remiss if I did not say this today, if I didn't come the way that I came today. So understand, brothers, understand, fellas, being a man is about being mature, being accountable, being natural, being nurturing, and then mastering manhood. And understanding that your voice and your value matters. It's your boy, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. I'm done for the week. I'm going to be right back here next week. Ladies, I'm coming for y'all next week. Just be a woman about it. And we're going to go into a different take on woman. I'm going to use the acronym woman to talk about what women need to be doing. I talked about fellas, what we need to be doing, how we need to be mature, accountable, nurturing, natural, and mastering manhood. So next week I'm gonna be talking about women, what women need to be doing, because it's ridiculous of what's going on out here, and say where the mindset is, and I'm not for it. So I'll talk to y'all next week. I want y'all to have a great weekend. Have a great weekend. Do something fun. As I always say, do something fun this weekend for yourself, with yourself, or with someone. Enjoy, family, friends, whatever. But have some fun. Smile. Laugh. Have a good time. Fellas, let's be mature, accountable, nurturing, natural. Your voice matters. Let's master your value. You have value. Let's master this manhood thing together. It's your boy, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., the Impact Builder. We'll talk to y'all on Monday. Have a great weekend.